Here we are today looking at the brand new 2023 American Silver Eagle. And I'm going to actually give you my thoughts and opinions, not just actually on the coin design this time, but also on that Pandora's box, which is something I don't normally do. So if you're really interested, make sure that you stay tuned, and also check out the links down below this video where you can find a link to Silver Trader, the Precious Metal Forum, and of course, my own personal website, AceBullion. And remember that today is the last day, because the competition closes, to enter into that Precious Metal Forum giveaway, which is, well, you could end up with something interesting, i.e. silver. So, here we go. So here we are. Happy Monday, everyone. It's the 27th of, I think, February. I've lost track. And we have the American Silver Eagle for you. Now, it's one of those, you're going to love it or hate it. Not the design, but the price. And I know I don't talk about price, and I'll be talking about it later on. But let's have a look first at the design. Because I think it's quite important, to give recognition at least to the design before we continue. So here on the front, we have Walking Liberty herself, which is pretty much a statue based upon, of course, the Statue of Liberty, which was gifted by France to America. And this design here was made by Adolf A. Weinman back in 1916, and the design has not changed. So she's standing there with the American flag, the sunset, you can see Liberty above, and we have the brand new year date, 2023. And, well, this one I think was done by West Point Mint by the looks of it, or something, I'm not quite sure. Has a W. Yeah, that's a West Point Mint. And it says, "In God We Trust." So that's the obverse of the coin here. The 1 ounce silver bullion, reeded edge going all the way alongside. And then we have the, shall I say, I'm still calling it a new design only because I'm so used to the old design. But this was created back in 2021, late, I think it was September time, by Emily Damstra, who made the brand new eagle carrying the olive branch. And on this reverse here, we have United States of America, $1, 1 ounce fine silver. And then we have E pluribus, I was going to say unum, but it's not. It is unum, yes. E pluribus unum. I just got ahead of myself a little bit there. So this is the brand new staple, if you like, or not, of the 1 ounce silver eagles. And there's been a lot of chatter about it. The design is actually really nice and appealing. I like it. I know a lot of people do not like the brand new reverse and still prefer to have the old-fashioned ways. No one can complain about the front because, of course, well, it hasn't changed. It's still the same old Walking Liberty, and that's perfectly fine. They've only started minting these in 1986, and, it's good to still have a traditional design. And I like that. As an American in Britain, this is a little bit of home here for me. Change, a lot of people cannot accept change or adapt to change, and that's fine. And if you're a collector, that's really going to bug the heck out of you. I'm sorry, but it will. So there's been a lot of speculation regarding why this eagle is so expensive. And what do I mean by expensive? Well, for a start, the maples here are significantly cheaper. The roos are cheaper. These are some of the staples. These are things that you should be having, i.e. the maples and the roos here, in your stack as a collector. This helps because they're usually the lowest budget price, silver that you can buy. And yes, there's that aspect of having it backed by the government and everything else. Quite frankly, I never bothered about that. And I know some of you do, and I still think you're ultimately wrong, because I'm never going to sell this for $1. Just plain and simple. I'd rather bury it in my back garden, quite honestly. But why is the price so high? And sadly, I can't answer that. There's a lot of speculation about supply and demand. And yeah, I can't see that, I'm afraid. There was an issue all the way back in 2008. That's why if you have the 2008 1 ounce bullion versions, those were low mintage. So low, in fact, that the mint actually had to make limits, put kind of rationed who gets what from to what distributor or supplier. So when they were shipping it overseas here to the UK, those numbers were rationed, believe it or not. What about inflation? Perhaps that might be attributed to why the mint is doing what it is. The cost of production is suddenly increased because, well, everyone needs more money because, well, essentially the governments are spending a lot more money. Perhaps that could be the cause. One would argue, if that's the case, then the US must be doing something terribly wrong, because the roux and the maples are still the same. In fact, the Britannias are still the same. Most countries are the same. But no, not this eagle. So I'd have to say that, unless the US government is completely inept, inflation really can't be the answer. And I'm sure I'm going to get comments on here saying the US government is inept. And bear in mind, I like to keep things off political charts, but there we go. Looking at it, I thought maybe perhaps it was the price of bullion. Well, actually, bullion's been in a big decline. We had a high all the way back in January. And in British pounds, that was £20.31. The highest point in US dollars was 21. I'll move on to that one. Sorry, apologies. So we had a high in January, £20.36. It dropped to 18.86, and it went up again, and then we're back down to £20 and under. In fact, right now we're under. It's at £17 and that was a little £17.31. So bullion prices surely cannot be affected. Again, that would impact all of the other bullion. Overall, I think it's perhaps that the mint is trying to add on their own premium to maybe do a projection and kind of safeguard themselves. I'm not entirely sure. No other mint is doing it, but perhaps if you take a step back and you kind of think outside the box, and I'm not saying agree with me, this is just, pure speculation here. Maybe the mint values this silver eagle as more than, let's say, a Canadian or the maple or a Krugerrand, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're essentially saying that, look, this is essentially a premium coin, even though we produce it, and you guys have been buying it as a staple. We actually think it's a premium coin, and that could be the case. I'd love to know what your thoughts and opinions are, because looking at it, it's still a maple. Not a maple, it's still an eagle. that's a maple. And there's nothing that I can fault it with, apart from obviously the price. And will I still buy it? Of course I'm going to still buy it. It may restrict, though, ultimately how many I buy, but perhaps, I don't know. I want to know from especially the dedicated amongst you who, only buy into American Silver Eagles, Maples, Britannias, Philharmonics, Krugerrands, the likes, okay? Whether this is going to actually impact on your decision to, purchase this 2023 Eagle. Even though spot prices dropped right now, I'm curious, because I know attached to it here in the UK, we still have the high premium. And in the US, it looks to be the same way. It looks like they're not budging on that premium. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. And if you have any money-saving tips for, buying one of these, let us know down below in the comments as well, because it's always interesting, especially if you're in the USA, to help out all of the US viewers. In the UK, sadly, the price is what it is, and it's not being taken, lightly. I know dealers here who are doing them, i.e. like the Silver Trader, really has to kind of bite the bullet and almost take nothing for this as a premium, which is really, really bad as a dealer. So I can't see dealers continuing to keep this up unless there's a lot of buyers behind them, because they're not going to be making anything on this. So that's my thought process. As I said, I don't talk about finances, I don't talk about politics, but this is an interesting coin, and it's something that, well, I want your opinion on. So let the conversation flow. Thanks for watching.